Success in the music business is a very difficult thing to ever capture in a bottle. There's no one way of being successful. One of the great things about the music business is that there are no rules. Once somebody says to you, this is how it has to be done, then someone else is just about to do it a completely different way. Having said that, there tend to be some recurring themes that come around again and again. And I've been asked to talk about what I look for in signing an artist. And the truth is, I just look for the same thing that anybody else would look for. If you've been driving around in the car for a week and suddenly a song comes on that makes you turn up the radio and that's the one that you whack your phone up and Shazam it and work out who it is and you want to buy it. What was it about that song rather than the 300 other songs you heard on the radio that made you want to buy it? You probably can't quantify it, but you know it when you hear it. And that's intuitively how I respond to artists and music as well. But then when asked to try to kind of, I guess, deconstruct that, to sort of analyze, well, what is it you're really doing that way? When you're making that kind of decision, I think that probably there's 8 different variables that lead to success in the music business. And getting any 3 or 4 of those is actually not that hard, but getting all 8 is like winning lotto. It's much like winning lotto. Getting 8 out of 8 is really hard. You'll often find a 5 or a 6 out of 8, and you'll pretty much can go anywhere and find a 2 or 3 out of 8. The 8 variables, as I perceive them as being, are number 1, the songs. And to my way of thinking, this is actually the most important variable of the 8. You can never have too many songs. You can never have too many great songs. And great songs will often carry some sort of, make up for weaknesses in some of these other variables. If you're wondering what to do today and you're a musician, the best answer is usually write a song. So that's the first of these 8 variables. The second is instrumental capacity, the ability to play and play your instruments and as a band have an identity. Typically, I find this is the one that's most overestimated in importance by musicians. It can be important, if you're Eddie Van Halen or you're Keith Moon, definitely your capacity on your instrument was a big part of your success. But usually, the extra time that you're spending on that guitar pedal, trying to make your tone that little bit better, while fun, is probably not the best use of your time. You'd be better off writing another song. But instrumental capacity can play a role. The power of the voice would be my third variable. There's something about certain voices that strike a deeper chord with people when they wrap themselves around music. Again, it's a hard thing to quantify, but there's been some, voices that doesn't always have to be tuneful. They just have character. And I think that that's a very important variable. The fourth thing is image. In most cases, that unfortunately means sex appeal, but it doesn't always. Meatloaf has no sex appeal. Iggy Pop kinda has no sex appeal in a way, although some women may beg to differ. But if he wasn't Iggy Pop, would you look twice at him on the street is the question. The thing is that there's an image that they have that is, striking and resonates with people. The fifth thing is a story, a narrative in your life that flows into your songs and into your image. If you can get cohesion between the story that you have, where you come from, the dreadlock busker discovered on the docks of Fremantle, the former rugby player who got injured and decided to become a sensitive singer-songwriter, the girl who won Triple J on Earth and instead of making a record went backpacking around Europe, the German band that sets themselves on fire. Whatever your story is, if that then marries up to your songs and how you look and how you sing, it establishes a strong identity that people really connect to and goes beyond a song and into a career. The next variables are all non-musical in a way, luck and timing. You can't really control either of them, but if you're aware of them at least, it helps you feel better about where you are and hopefully also can help you navigate your way through them. There's definitely an element of luck to these things. If you happen to have a song about a natural disaster at a time where there is a natural disaster, it's much more likely that song will strike a chord with people. It's bad luck for the world and good luck for you. And so that's the timing part. And there's a certain element of luck insofar as it might be that you might release an up-tempo song just at a time where there aren't many up-tempo songs being taken to radio, so you get more of a run at radio than might otherwise have been the case. Or you can have bad luck. You can have a song that just happens to have the same name as a song that became a hit a month before it, and that's what keeps it from connecting with people. So be aware of luck as a variable, and don't let it discourage you, and don't let it give you overconfidence either. And be aware of timing. That if you have good timing, seize that moment, and if you have bad timing, then perhaps don't try and keep banging your head against the wall. The final of the 8 variables is work ethic, the ability to apply yourself. Music's a fantastic way to, making music is a fantastic way to have a career, but make no mistake, it is still a career, it is still a job. You will get out of it what you put into it. Over time, the artists who tend to be most successful are those who have the strongest work ethic. And that doesn't necessarily always mean the ones who are most willing to get up and do breakfast radio interviews and write a blog and do an extra photo shoot and play an extra couple of months' worth of gigs, although sometimes it does mean that. It can also mean the artist who, when everybody else went home, they went down to the rehearsal room and kept writing songs. And they kept working on their songs, and they kept making their songs better. And they kept trying to say to themselves, what is so special about what we're doing that people should be choosing to spend their hard-earned money on us rather than on the million other ways that they can be entertaining themselves. In today's world, there are a lot of competition for an entertainment dollar, and you've got to be doing something that's pretty damn special to strike a chord with people. They don't owe you a living. You owe them an experience that is so special that they would rather come and see you play or buy your music than go check out a Hollywood blockbuster movie or sign up for some fantastic new app or jump online and talk to their friends or play some amazing new video game. These are all things they could be doing with their money. What's so good about what you're doing that it's going to have that kind of appeal to people? And I would suggest that concentrating on those 8 areas and working out which are the missing pieces and trying to fill those pieces of the puzzle is a good way to kind of lift your game and to be aware of the challenges that it takes to overcome the inertia that can often hold people, becalm people at the start of their career in music.